This is the launch party for issue 5 of Dandy Horse, which is a Toronto-based cycling magazine that covers art and culture. It's our special mayoral issue where we have 9 candidates that none of them have a grid bike platform, but we're here to introduce Steve Murray.
The election is on October 25th, and none of the candidates have a good bike platform, and we don't like that, so we've invited the mayoral candidate that never could be. He ain't registered too late to actually run, but we still support him. His name is Steve Murray, and he's going to talk to us about bikes. Steve!
Please, you're too kind. I'm just one man. First off, I'd like to thank you for having me here at your little magazine launch. I've given several speeches during my campaign to different organizations, from the esteemed Federation of Giant Condos to the always classy Rob Ford, Toronto Sun Rob Ford. But this is the first time I feel like I'm speaking to the people. Please give yourself a round of applause for being people. I love people. My mother was a person, my father also a person when he wasn't drinking. Mother Murray was a strict but fair woman. I suppose she still is, I haven't talked to her in years. She had wonderful sayings like, "Son, get your daddy his daddy juice. If that cup gets empty, we gotta go to Aunt Maggie's." But one that stuck with me more than most was this gem. Bikes are for children, and children shouldn't be allowed on bikes. So it'll come as no surprise that I've never cared much for bikes. They seemed weird to me. Human-powered, like stilts or a kayak. Not quite a tricycle, not quite a unicycle, but some sort of bastard combination of the two. Unnatural. Yet, despite how unnatural they are, they're everywhere. Everywhere in this city. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. They're even on our roads. I know. Most of you here tonight are probably conscientious cyclists and have nothing to do with roads. But trust me, the streets are littered with them. You know, I've always followed this simple rule when it comes to getting from point A to point B. The B usually stands for bar. Roads are for cars, sidewalks are for bikes, and cars are for people. I suppose there are some walking enthusiasts that would take issue with my anti-walking stance, but until there's a walking-themed magazine in Toronto, a la Dandy Horse, I will not pander to people who walk places. So why am I here tonight? Why is Toronto's premier candidate for the office of mayor a man who thinks bikes are weird and frankly too sexual for the streets? Why is he talking to cyclists? Well, my attitudes have changed somewhat during this campaign. A couple of weeks ago, I was cruising down Queen Street in my V10 6.9-liter Power Night VX. It was a refreshing September day, but I had my windows rolled up to block out the street noise, which frankly distracts me from texting. Normally, I like to straddle 2 lanes of traffic because the VX likes to breathe a bit. But some weird, tiny foreign car snuck in and was forcing me into a single lane. So there I was, rolling along, minding my own business, weaving a little bit to let this other car know my displeasure. And then it happened. Out of nowhere, a bicycle had come up beside me, ringing a bell, which I mistook for the beautiful sounds of an ice cream truck. I weaved towards delicious ice cream out of instinct, and bam! We collided. I immediately stopped the VX because I'm not a monster and I needed the cyclist's name in case I decided to sue. When I stepped out, I was horrified to see that my sport utility vehicle, I don't play sports, but that's what we call it, has scratches on it, like it had just made passionate love to another SUV. I centered myself the way my anger management coach taught me and turned to my assailant to confront them, ready for an anger-managed fight. But the man I collided with, he was in no shape to fight. He lay there, nursing a banged-up knee, his bike a crumpled mess. I'd harmed this man. I had already won this fight. I called for an ambulance and stood there, helpless and afraid, for the only time in my life. And then it hit me. This man was like a bird, and I had broken his wing. All the cyclists on the streets were like birds. I had long wanted to ban cyclists from our roads, but the truth is, I can't. You can't tell birds to no longer fly, and we simply don't have the manpower to break all their wings. So what do we do then? Well, we make it safer for these strange creatures, these helmeted hummingbirds of the road. People have told me about these bicycle lanes. Apparently there's one on Jarvis that costs more than $900 million to make. That seems excessive and made up, but if there's a way to put more of these lanes in for less, I'm all for it. Yes, it may add a bit more time to my bar commute, but frankly, spending time in the Power Night VX is like being in Steven Spielberg's private movie theater, especially since I installed the driver's side DVD player. Such a smooth ride, too. I really recommend dropping 500 grand on one if you can. Ladies and gentlemen, my mother had another saying that resonated with me to this day. Son, don't kill anyone. So while I will never be caught dead on a bicycle, I'm sorry, that doesn't mean I want to kill cyclists. Thank you and good night. Murray for mayor.